Welcome to the Truth of the Matter show, coming to you from Biafra Television, London. Today we are looking at Nnamdi Kanu's whereabouts, because since 14th of September 2017, Nnamdi Kanu's whereabouts is still unknown to the public. We, the people of Biafra, want to see our leader. We want the Nigerian army, who invaded his home on 14th of September 2017, to produce the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. And we also asking the Nigerian government, where is IPOB leader? Why IPOB leader did not appear at the court on 20th of November 2017? Mr. Kalawu, so looking at this issue, Nnamdi Kanu was under court stringent bail conditions, and the army invaded his home on 14th of September. So, and on 20th of November, Nnamdi Kanu was not at the court. So how do you view this this issue?
I view it as Nigeria being a failed state, which we have always continued to tell the world that Nigeria is a failed state, and whatever that is happening in Nigeria is impunity, because the law of the land is not functional. What is obtainable in Nigeria is the logic of the big fish. What is obtainable in Nigeria is lawlessness. So, the case of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra is one of those many cases and issues that points to the enslavement and massacre of ordinary people that were forced to be in that country called Nigeria. I want our people to understand that the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra was incarcerated for close to 2 years without having committed any crime known to any law. That is part of the impunity that is going on in Nigeria. Okay. He spent up to almost 2 years in incarceration without having committed any crime. And he was given a bail with a stringent condition. Those stringent conditions violate his fundamental rights, and it is known in law that whatever that is against the fundamental rights of a citizen is no more a law. So Nnamdi Kanu did not violate any law, and he was incarcerated. And he has been appearing in court, and he was due to appear in court on the 17th of October. And before that 17th of October, the Nigerian army chief sent his murderous Boko Haram in army uniform to invade his home
With war tanks.
with armor tanks and all forms of violent military equipment. They invaded the house, they killed a lot of people, and since that day till today, we have never heard nor seen the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, whereas he was at home on that fateful day, of which he communicated to his lawyer while he was still inside the room, and the lawyer took note of that and exposed it to the public that his client is in his house and his house has been invaded. So we have video evidence, we have pictures, we have every evidence available to prove that the Nigerian army is in a position to tell the world the whereabouts of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalawu. Yes, and what you're saying is right. Now, looking at it on 20th of November 2017, Yusuf was saying in the court that they did not go to Nnamdi Kanu's house, while the chief of army staff was saying that soldiers went to chase a truck of load of arms into his home. The chief of army, the defense minister, said that the soldiers went to his home. How do you justify the claim from Mr. Yusuf?
The justification is simply that Nigeria is a failed state, as we have always continued to tell the public. Because if you look at what is happening, you will understand that the Nigerian establishment is confused and at the same time contradicting themselves. If you go to Channels TV, you see how immediately after the invasion of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, there was one army spokesman, Colonel Enenche. He said that he was watching them on his screen, that he was watching them, and they did not enter Nnamdi Kanu's house.
No.
The minister of defense minister Ali, or whatever he called himself, yes, he said that they invaded Nnamdi Kanu's house, but they did not see him. Buratai on his own is also lying, the chief of army staff, telling the public that they were chasing a vehicle, a truck load of ammunition, and they were chasing it without shooting anything until they chased them into the house, that later they discovered that it was Nnamdi Kanu's house. And they said that it was those that were conveying the truckload of ammunition that ignited the ammunition and started killing people. So when you go to read the nonsense that they deposed at the court, you laugh.
Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra that are commanding millions of people all over the world. How do you view the issue that army and all the rest of them are giving excuses on this matter? And this is a very serious matter.
There is already a revolution, because boycotting of Anambra election successfully by the indigenous people of Biafra is an unprecedented revolution, the first time in the continent of Africa. That is to tell you that the people of Biafra, having taken back the sovereignty that belongs to the people, is now poised to lead the African world, the whole world, the African people, to development, because Africa is still under colonialism, both by the West and also by the dictators that are in Africa. So the indigenous people of Biafra is proving a great point before the whole world.
Thank you, Mr. Kalagu. Yes, Senator Enyine Abaribe, the judge told Senator Enyine Abaribe recently to produce Nnamdi Kanu. And Senator Enyine Abaribe is one of his sureties. And right now, on 20th, Enyine Abaribe was telling the judge that Brutai, the chief of army staff, should be the one to produce Nnamdi Kanu and pay him damages. Looking at it, how do you view the fact that Enyine Abaribe is saying that army should pay him damages and should produce Nnamdi Kanu?
You know, for the army to have resorted to what they call fait accompli, it means resorting to self-help. It is very, very wrong and should be punishable by the law, because this is part of a contempt of court. There is no how you will invade the home of an accused person who is standing trial on a treasonable charge and who is due to appear in court just in few weeks from the day of the invasion. So Enyine Abaribe is very, very right to have initiated the litigation against the army chief, because the army chief is solely responsible and in a position to provide the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Because first and foremost, the army does not have any mandate to be deployed to a civilian home. If Nnamdi Kanu had violated his bail condition, it is not the responsibility of the army to go and arrest him or to invade his house or to kill anybody. If Nnamdi Kanu had committed or had violated any of his bail conditions, the court that gave him the bail condition is in a position to issue a warrant of arrest through the Nigerian police to arrest him or to invite him for an arrest. If he did not come, then the police could go after him.
Now, what do you tell the Chief of Army Staff, Brutai, General Brutai, what do you tell him direct? He deployed Nigerian soldiers with war tanks in the home of Nnamdi Kanu on 14th of September 2017. Since that very day, Nnamdi Kanu's whereabouts still unknown. So what do you tell Brutai direct?
What I tell the Nigerian Chief of Army Staff, General Yusuf Tukur Buratai, is that he must, as a matter of urgency, produce Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Why I say this is because Buratai has committed a crime known to law for invading the home of an accused person that is standing trial before a court of competent jurisdiction. Buratai has resorted to a fait accompli, whereas a case against the accused on treasonable felony is still subsisting. So for him to have invaded the home of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and from evidence, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra was at home on the 14th of September 2017 when this murderous Islamic army invaded his home. They abducted him, they might have killed him, or they have kept him in their detention facilities. So we urge Buratai, we urge Buhari and his murderous agents to produce the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and stop the genocide that they are committing through the state-sponsored genocide on the Biafra people. This must stop, and the international community, the United Nations, the African Union must live up to her responsibility by conducting and supervising a referendum for the indigenous people of Biafra, because the people of Biafra have rejected Nigeria because we have never been Nigerian. We have never for one day agreed and signed that we want to be part of this shenanigan called a country called Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalago. Now, what should be the position of the court? Because Nnamdi Kanu was under cost-regent bail conditions given to him by Justice Binta Nyako on 24th of April 2017. What should be the position of the court now? The position of the court should be to strike out the case, because the court has held our people for getting to 3 years now. Remember, we still have Chidebere Onwudiwe, we still have Benjamin Madubugu, we still have Bright Chimeze Isinwa, we still have David Nwawisi, and many other Biafrans that are being held in different detention facilities throughout Nigeria. This is injustice. Unity can never be by force. You can never force a people to be part of a country where they do not have their interests guaranteed, where their life is not safe. To die in Nigeria is as simple as ABC. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kala. We are saying that the court should dismiss the case, and Brutai should produce Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, the court must, as a matter of urgency, discharge and acquit all Biafrans that is being held, because self-determination is never a crime. Self-determination is under the United Nations Charter for the right of indigenous people for self-determination. Self-determination is also under the African Charter, the right of indigenous people for self-determination. So detaining our people will not stop our people from agitating for our freedom. So the Nigerian DSS has
continue to detain our people without evidence, and the court itself has been playing along with the modern Nigerian state. If you look at the Federal High Court, all the justices of the Federal High Court, majority of them are Fulanis. Check out Kafarati, who unconstitutionally labeled IPOB a terrorist organization. And when IPOB challenged that prescription, the judge ran away. They can't show at the court. So what I'm saying to the world is that Nigerian judiciary has been taken over by the jihadist murderers Muhammadu Buhari, the tyrant president of Nigeria. So the judges at the Federal High Court are only there doing the biddings of the murderous executive arm of government. So our people must be released. Our people must be released unconditionally. Our people must be released today and tomorrow, because we have committed no crime. And our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, must be produced by the army chief. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalawi. Yes, you're saying that the army chief who invaded his home, and since that very day, nobody has seen Nnamdi Kanu, nobody heard from him, so that the chief of army staff should produce him. And you're also saying that the court should strike out the case and they release the Biafrans detainees, the Biafrans they detained illegally, because self-determination is not a crime anywhere in the world. So based on this fact, Nnamdi Kanu is leading the indigenous people of Biafra all over the world. What should be the position of the indigenous people of Biafra based on the fact that Brutai, the chief of army staff, is holding Nnamdi Kanu? Because we all believe that the army is holding Nnamdi Kanu. What should be the position of indigenous people of Biafra right now?
Well, the position of the indigenous people of Biafra should be to remain resolute, to continue with, even if you were doing one thing for Biafra today you must start doing 10 things for Biafra, because it is clear now that the indigenous people of Biafra has taken a stand, and the majority of the indigenous people of Biafra has decided that what we want is Biafra. And there is no amount of incarceration, there is no amount of genocide on us, there is no amount of the four corners of the prison walls that will stop this agitation. So the indigenous people of Biafra must expedite action, tell the world, visit every embassies of the country where you live in, and they propagate this message, because the world must listen to the voice of the people, because the power belongs to the people. Okay, Mr.
Kala, we're looking at it now. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, cannot just disappear like that. And Brutai cannot say that Nnamdi Kanu is not in his position. And if he says that Nnamdi Kanu is not in his position, where is Nnamdi Kanu? That is the question. So what should happen to Brutai if he fails to produce Nnamdi Kanu? Because the people of Biafra cannot just allow their leader to disappear like that.
The position of it depends on the international community, because the indigenous people of Biafra, we will not resort to violence.
Yes.
The indigenous people of Biafra, we are here as a peaceful movement for the sole aim of the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra. That is our objective, and nobody whatsoever that will do anything that will drag us into violence. So we will only and continuously expedite our resolve to alerting the international community on the enslavement that is being meted to our people in Nigeria. We must continue to talk. We must continue to expose them. We must continue to approach the international community. That is the only thing we should do. And believe you me, they themselves, they know the right thing to do. Nigeria is a failed state. The international community is not yet a failed state. So they would not like to be dragged into such illegalities by Nigeria. So that is the reason why I appeal to every Biafran, wherever you are, join this movement for the restoration of Biafra. Contribute your quota. Tell the world, tell every community wherever you are, tell them about Biafra and tell them about the negative treatment that the people of Biafra is getting from the Nigerian establishment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kalagui. Yes, we the people of Biafra, we are telling Nigerian government who ordered the Nigerian military chief to deploy soldiers in the home of Nnamdi Kanu to produce Nnamdi Kanu. We are telling the Nigerian army chief to produce the leader of indigenous people of Biafra who committed no crime before army invaded his home, and after the army invaded his home on 14th of September 2017, Nnamdi Kanu is still missing till today. So this is the fact. So what the people of Biafra want is they want Nigerian army to produce IPOB leader, because IPOB leader is very important to us. He is our leader and we are not going to keep quiet. And we are telling the international community to make sure that the people of Biafra will have their freedom, to make sure that they will look at the issue, the plight of the people of Biafra, and the people of Biafra should leave Nigeria for peace, not for war. We are for our freedom. We are not for war. We are not for violence. We embark on self-determination. Remember that Nnamdi Kanu called for a referendum.
Yes.
And this referendum is what Nnamdi Kanu called, and the army invaded his home.
Yes.
And Nigeria domesticated this self-determination to their own local laws.
Yes.
Nigeria subscribed to democracy.
Yes.
Nigeria is signatory to international law.
Yes.
So what's the sense of Nigeria to invade the home of Nnamdi Kanu for embarking on self-determination? This is the issue we are talking about from the truth of the matter. So we want Nigerian army to produce IPOB leader. We want Nigerian government to tell us where our leader is. So this is the issue. We don't have any other thing to say, only that we want our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and the indigenous people of Biafra all over the world will never change their mind on the issue of Biafra restoration. Am I right, Kala?
You are right.
Of course. We will not change our mind. What we want is total freedom and the independent state of Biafra. This is the truth of the matter. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.
Biafra freedom, freedom is what we need now. Freedom, freedom is what we want now. Biafra freedom, freedom is what we need now. Freedom, freedom is what we want now. The United Nations to set my people free. Calling the League of the Nations to set Biafra free. Lord no. Calling the African Union, talk about my freedom. Calling the four corners of this world.